Hey guys, AJ here, back with another one. So today we're going to look at a video and it's called Men Need to Step Up in Workplaces. It's Not Enough to Harass Women. So you can tell by the title, it's already going to be some bullshit. So basically, to summarize before we get in this current environment, a lot of men in powerful positions, say corporate America, law offices, finance firms, IT, tech, or whatever, aren't really willing to deal with women in the workplace because one small accusation or one miscommunication and your career is over. Also, a lot of companies aren't taking risks. So imagine that you're Goldman Sachs or you're some prestigious law firm or whatever. One scandal caused by one small miscommunication and your company can take a big hit. So a lot of them are saying, and corporations, that men and women can't fraternize anymore. There's no happy hours. There's no traveling together as men and women. A lot of them don't have holiday parties or Christmas parties or potlucks or anything anymore because they just can't take the risk. So this video here is basically saying that women are suffering because companies are no longer allowing this to happen. Now, one thing to consider too is that other than college, most women report that they meet their spouse at work, historically, if they're in the workforce. So if they can't fraternize with men at work anymore, guess what? How are you supposed to find a significant other? So let's jump into this video and let's see where it goes. Let's go.
My mouth fell open. I'm thinking, what message does it send?
Well, we're in a bad place. So 60% of male managers in the U.S., 60% are afraid to have a one-on-one meeting with a woman.
60%. Did you hear that? That means 60% of all the CEOs, COOs, anyone at the executive level don't want to have a woman alone in their office.
How do you get promoted without a one-on-one meeting?
No one's ever gotten promoted without a one-on-one meeting. I
Well, that causes a problem now, doesn't it?
feel confident in that. Senior men right now are 9 times more likely to hesitate to travel with a woman and 6 times more likely to hesitate to have a work dinner. And the problem is...
And that's a good thing, right? Because now SAs are down across the board. Men are being more cautious. And that was the whole point of this movement, was to make men accountable and to make men more, make men more aware. But now it seems like they don't like how men are being aware. So let's jump back into it.
that even before this, women, and especially women of color, do not get the same amount of mentoring as men, which means we're not getting an equal seat at the table. And, you know, it's not enough to not harass us. You need to not ignore us either.
There you go. It's not enough to do what we asked you to. You need to go above and beyond. We don't want equality. We want special treatment. And that's my issue with this whole thing. It's just ridiculous.
Do you think they have cause to feel that way?
Well, I think it's a
Yes, but watch what she says.
false trade-off. I think people can travel. I think people can go to dinner. I think people can have one-on-one meetings. All of those things can be done in public places, and everyone can behave appropriately. But if there's a man out there who doesn't want to have a work dinner with a woman, my message is simple. Don't have one with a man.
Yeah.
Group lunches for everyone. Make it explicit, make it thoughtful, make it equal.
So here we go with this feminist. Men and women are basically interchangeable BS, and that's BS.
People don't get promoted in group lunches either.
Correct.
You have to have a one-on-one meeting. And the reason why this troubles me so much is that if men are doing the right thing and they're behaving appropriately, they don't have to worry about any of this. They don't have.
Now let's analyze that statement real fast. If men were doing the right thing and behaving, so what is the right thing? And that's the thing that people don't understand. And this is why the risk is so high. The subjectivity that's in this. The right thing to one woman might not be the right thing to another. The right thing during one trip might not be the right in another. The right thing for Mr. Handsome office stud might not be the same for Mr. Goofy guy with the red stapler. So men are just saying, you know what? I'm going to objectively have a solution and say, I'm not going to deal with it anymore. And what they're trying to say is a real man would just kind of know, would psychically know what women want and think is safe. And that's bullshit.
Have to worry about being accused. You say men need to step up.
Men need to step up. We need to redefine what it means to be a good guy at work. It's not enough to not harass, and I think too many people think that's sufficient. That's necessary, that's a basic, but it's not sufficient.
And this is another thing where I'm going to do a video about this. A lot of modern women always want to tell men how to be men. That's one of the underlying tenets of modern feminism, is to start with the shaming. A real man would blank. And then it leads into this defining of what they believe a quote unquote real man, good man should do, and then shaming anyone that doesn't fit into this idiotic pigeonhole. Let's get back into it.
Women need equal opportunity,
and they should fight for it, but they don't want to.
What does that mean? Equal time in meetings. It means the right kind of feedback. So a recent study of performance reviews showed that 66% of women got feedback on how they work, their style, they're too aggressive, they're too this, they're too that. Do you know what percentage of men got that feedback?
Probably not a lot.
Less than one.
Less the behavior. What they're essentially they're saying their behavior.
Well, I wonder how that study went, and maybe they just took the feedback a certain way. So once again, a lot of women complain about not what's said, but how it is said. So you can tell a guy and a girl the same thing, and depending on how it's said or who said it, the woman will take it the exact opposite way. So let's get back into it.
Aggressive, they're too this, they're too that. Do you know what percentage of men got that feedback?
Probably not a lot.
Less than one.
The behavior. What they're essentially they're saying their behavior.
Yeah,
That's
what is
right.
style feedback? Yeah, what
Style
is that?
feedback is how you behave, it's how you do the work you do, not the work you do. So women are getting feedback that they're too bossy, they're too aggressive, they're too this, they're too that, and men are getting feedback on their work. And that's one of the reasons why men get more promotions.
Or men just take the rest of it on the chin of the feedback and only focus on the feedback that actually involves their work.
Also, that informal time, when the boss takes a trip, takes a junior colleague, that person gets all of that context, all of that time to spend with the boss. Who do you think gets promoted? And so our message is really simple. If we want to stop sexual harassment in the workplace, one of the things that does that most effectively is having more senior women.
No, it's making men accountable and then making men think about the risk and say, look, you know what? I'm going to lead this back to the whole Mike Pence thing. I remember, I'm not a Mike Pence fan at all, but a lot of people always try to make fun of him because he said he will not be alone in a room with a woman. He won't be around women unless his wife is there. And everyone thought, oh, Mike Pence and his mom, his wife, his mom. But you know what? I think that was just keeping himself safe. Now, no woman can ever say that he said something wrong or inappropriate or grabbed anything inappropriate because his wife is there, because he has a lot to lose. And I just see this as men, we're natural cost benefit analysts. And a lot of these men are once again saying the power now is in the hands of these women in the workplace. So it would behoove me to put myself in a situation where the people who have the power can just ruin me for no reason. And this woman just doesn't see that at all.
The only way we're going to get more senior women is if women are getting the same numbers of meetings, the same one-on-one coaching, the same feedback on their work, so that they can get the promotions they deserve.
So other than men not meeting
Oh, and no one deserves anything. You work for it.
with male colleagues if they're worried about meeting with, because everybody knows about gossip. There's gossip in our industry. And so...
and you said that with a straight face. Nicely
you did
done.
that really well.
Yes.
And so there's gossip, and surely men are not crazy to think, gee, if I have a one-on-one lunch or have this mentoring meeting, the gossip gets out of control. Suddenly I'm having to explain something when nothing was done wrong. What other steps then should men do if they have these concerns about what can happen in a workplace where, again, they have no control over when tongues start wagging.
A valid question, and let's see what this moron's answer is.
Well, look, I'm with Gail. You have to be able to have a one-on-one conversation, and those conversations can happen in rooms with the doors open. In a public restaurant, having a lunch or dinner, I don't really think you can get falsely accused of something. And so,
bullshit, you can't. Bullshit. She's just saying, oh, here, news guy who just asked a valid question. Oh, you're crazy. There's no way that would happen. I mean, no way.
I think men need to step up, and they need to say, in order to get women promoted, those women need the same coaching, the same feedback, the same opportunities that men get.
Easy for you to say. You aren't in a position where you've worked, you haven't gone to school for 9, 10, 11 years or gone to law school and then worked another 20, 30 years to be some prestigious position. And then you're not being asked to risk all of that. So this is basically all I'm going to show of this clip, guys. I mean, this did what it was supposed to do, this movement where harassment is down, SA is down, men and women are not really interacting in the same way in Hollywood and corporate America. So mission accomplished. But hey, you can't complain about getting the result that you want and then complain about unforeseen consequences. That's just childish. So, all right, you guys, like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all of my new subscribers, and I am out of here. Stay safe.